In the hills in the middle of Kenya, more than 50 years ago, a young girl grew up on a farm. There were olive trees, fig trees, and flame trees, and the rivers were clear and full of fish. The girl's name was Wangari, and she loved the green land all around her. Wangari's favourite tree was the fig tree near her home. All her people felt the same way. They thought the fig tree was so special nobody should disturb it. Even if a branch fell off the fig tree, nobody would pick it up and take it away for firewood. That's how much they loved that fig tree. Wangari was very smart and studied hard. When the time came, she went away to college in America. She still loved plants and trees, so she studied biology, the science of living things. She hoped that when she returned to her home, she could help make it even more green and beautiful. After 5 years in college, Wangari returned to her farm. She hardly recognized her home. Farmers had cut down trees to grow more crops. Without the shade from the trees, the ground was hot and dry. The crops needed more water to stay alive, and many of them withered and died. Without the shelter of the trees, rain washed away the soil from the ground. Dirt washed into rivers, so people had to go a long way to find clean water and fresh fish. Nobody liked what had happened to the lovely farms of Kenya. They complained about the dirt. They complained about the lack of food. They blamed people, but nobody knew what to do about it. Wangari was smart, and she had studied hard. She knew that trees would solve the problem. Trees would shade the land. Their fruit would feed people. Their roots would protect the soil. Even their fallen branches were useful. They would provide firewood. So Wangari started to teach the women of Kenya how to grow trees. Wangari also went to schools to tell children about trees. She taught them how to plant seeds. She taught them how to water young trees and care for them. The children joined with their mothers and began to raise trees. Every year they planted more. Wangari's work began 30 years ago. Now there are millions of trees that Wangari's friends planted. Every year, children and their mothers, grandchildren and their grandmothers plant more trees. The trees grow strong. Their leaves give shade. Their fruit feed the people. Their roots keep the soil in place. Their branches give firewood. And the mountains of Kenya are growing green again.